Plaintiff Robert Harper Jr. is suing his former employer for services rendered and lawyer fees. Robert says he was hired by the defendant to work as a cinematographer on a reality TV show. But Robert says the defendant is on the TSA's terrorist watch list. And because Robert traveled with him, now he's on the list too. Defendant Ali Abdullah believes he's on the terrorist watch list because of his name. But he says he's always able to fly, and it's not his fault Robert is on the list. Ali is countersuing for travel expenses and his production tapes.
The plaintiff in this case is suing his former employer for services rendered and lawyer's fees, and the defendant is countersuing his former employee for travel expenses and production tapes. Robert, state your case.
Your Honor, I'm an award-winning cinematographer. I was hired by the defendant to work on a trailer for a reality show in April of 2009. He told me that he was a producer that had worked on the Run show or something like that.
Did you work on the Run show?
Yes.
Tricky.
I worked on several shows, and I'm actually mentioning that to him.
You know that one?
Judge, you are too cool.
Ooh, thank you. That's fine. Anyway, no, that's
I worked on several shows before.
Okay, good.
He told me that he needed someone quickly to shoot. I was asked if I could shoot for 5 days in Indianapolis, an event for an NBA basketball player and their family, and they were developing this pitch.
Your Honor, actually, I did not express what the project was about. I just told him I needed a videographer for the 10 days, for between 10 to 12 days. That's in Indiana as well in Atlanta.
All right, so the two of you sit down, you have a deal, you're going to do 10 days?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, Your Honor, I thought I was dealing with somebody like a professional
Your Honor, may I
like myself.
interrupt again? He just agreed to 10 days, in which initially he said 5 days.
Right up there.
I'm on it just like you.
Yeah. Okay. You're on it? Okay. What is the agreement that the two of you have? It's 10 days.
10 days, $1,000. He can hand over the tapes.
10 days for $1,000?
I completely disagree with that. I mean,
what
really?
is the agreement?
Yeah. I have an agreement here, which I'd like to present to the court if that's okay.
You can present to the court, but what is the agreement?
Well, the agreement, as I understood it, absolutely,
officer.
you know what I'm saying, was that I would shoot for the first 5 days for $1,000. And if things went well, which is normal, do you know what I mean? It would be for $1,000, that I'd be invited to go to shoot the additional 4 days in Atlanta.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
how many days do you agree to? Is it 5 or 10 or 9?
I agreed to that it's 9. The 10th day was a travel day to come back.
What did you offer?
10 days, Your Honor, for $1,000. The money was coming out of my pocket. He realized when he met the family, that was a wealthy family, that, hey, there may be some more money on the plate. That's where at the end of the trip, he's like, okay, I need more money. His guys
This isn't signed.
It's not signed. Your
Why
Honor.
not?
Well, because at the airport, when we first went to the airport in New York City, I asked the defendant, can you please provide me with a deal memo? Do you understand? Which is standard practice, you know what I mean, among professionals in the business. He said,
and I told him I will.
He said to me, Your Honor, what is a deal memo? At that point,
I did not. That is incorrect.
At that point, what?
At that point, I said, listen, Ali, if you don't know what a deal memo is, do you know what I mean? I can help you to write one.
Hogwash. If he doesn't know what a deal memo is, take the next flight out.
Well, I was in the airport at that time. Do you know what I mean? And he was a young man. Do you know what I mean? He was making his way into this business.
All right. So you decide to go with him without anything in writing.
Absolutely.
Which pretty much highlights his professionalism.
Because at that point, Your Honor, we were at the airport already. Do you understand?
What? This proposal is something that who drafted up?
I did.
You did.
Yes.
So this is what's called a self-serving statement.
Well,
you
no,
say,
because
let me finish.
Sorry.
You say 9 days starting on April 23rd until May 5th. That you're going to provide all these cinematographers' services, a contract fee of $1,800. You just told me it was $1,000 for 5 days.
Your Honor, he actually, as you can tell, I have the initial email you sent me.
Let me see.
You'll see on here.
Let me ask you a question, Ollie.
Yes.
Did you provide him with a contract?
No, I did not.
Did you provide him with a deal memo?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I told him I'll get him the deal memo, within the trip. And I told him while we was at the trip, since we were so busy, I'll give it to you after the trip. He said, fine, as long as I can get the cash.
Okay.
And
all
I
right,
sent
in your contract here.
I signed it. I dated it.
But he didn't sign it, Your Honor.
It is not signed.
Well, via email. My response was to him was, hey,
we're more intelligent.
The contract you sent over to me was what
I can figure this out. Here's how it works. I wear the robe. That means I take in the testimony. You give me the facts, and I give you my opinion. I don't need your opinion. I got my own opinion.
Okay.
And if I can't figure it out, I'll ask Doug for his opinion. Okay? All right. Now, you didn't sign it. What is that?
This is the email where he agreed to pay me the $1,800.
That's very important.
Okay.
Hand it up.
Oh, There was no agreement.
Thank you.
I thought you said you sign on emails. I'm sure you agree to contracts.
I'll show you the email
emails.
where she actually attached the
So
deal.
you have my 1800? Yes. That's
Okay.
exactly where I was going. All right. Go ahead.
Your Honor, at the airport in Indianapolis, we were approached by the TSA, that's the Transportation Safety Administration.
Stand up.
At that point, the TSA told me that I was traveling with somebody who had been determined by the TSA to be on the terrorist watch list. I had no idea.
The reason why, Your Honor, may I interrupt? The reason why I have a Middle Eastern name, my name is Ali Abdullah.
Yeah.
Okay, I travel at least 4 to 3 times a month, at least.
4
And I've
to
been
3 or 3 to 4?
Well, 3 to 4. And I've actually, since
9 to 10 or 10 to
since
9?
9/11,
Yeah, go ahead.
since 9/11, sometimes I may be checked, a little extra, but I've never been in a situation where I cannot fly. That's the case, I would not be here.
All right. So they tell you he's on a terrorist watch list?
They specifically, 4 guys in green jackets came out and told me.
I don't know what point was this, because he was with me the whole time.
What are you saying to me? That this guy's a terrorist?
I'm telling you that.
And the TSA is sharing this information with you, Robert Harper Jr., because they think you need to know it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
incorrect.
the
I
reason
mean-
for that, Your Honor, is that
Yeah.
because I had bags with my clothes on it, when we were there, Mr.
didn't have
Abdullah
any
did not
clothes.
Mr. Abdullah did not want to pay the extra fee because he was being incredibly cheap on the flight, that he said, Mr. Harper, because you have a tripod bag, is it okay if I put some of my clothes into your bag? He did that in front of the TSA officers, you know what I'm saying, which I had, prior to me even knowing he was on the terrorist watch list, he asked me that when we were leaving from New York.
Yeah.
He physically puts his clothes into my tripod bag
Oh,
at the clear view of the security cameras. And I had no idea that
How does that
on the
But
reference?
who cares?
How does that
because
reference?
it's
I'm
completely
asking.
irrelevant. It's
You
completely
know what? The two of you have too many opinions.
In order to have my name removed from the TSA's watch list.
Were you on the watch list?
I'm on the watch list now.
Because of him?
Yes, because he purchased.
How do you know
all-
it's because of him?
Right here, I have the contract, you know what I mean, from the attorneys, as well as the printout, the overview for the watch list and the nomination for the screening process.
Yana, may I interrupt, please?
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, agency must nominate. This is overview of watch list nomination. FBI
There's some
and
highlighted
NTSA
areas
are
here, as well as the retainer
Do you
agreement.
think you're going to talk
Let her
over me?
read
I
it.
don't think
Let her
so.
read it. Sure, let her
Shares
read
of terrorist information contain watch list is unavailable for this. You could pull this off a website. What does this prove?
Right, and here's my contract.
It's actually
you understand, from the
1-800
attorney.
number.
Okay, no, I'm just. Can I
Let's
just
see it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We take all
As
evidence.
well as the check that I had to write to them to retain me.
Based upon how this case is moving, I want to know how the two of you got along for 5 days, 9 days, 10 days.
Actually,
or 4
we
days.
actually, we never bumped heads throughout the 10 days. Never.
Did he do the job?
Yes, he did.
Okay. What's the problem?
The problem was when we got to the airport, he demanded more money. How? He had sort of like 2 friends with him. The friends that when we initially met, these are the guys that I met. These guys demanded more money.
We heard the conversation
But I quote,
from the beginning.
And I quote,
She'll give you
you're
an
not getting the tapes until you come off more money. You have money. I know who you are. You need to come off more money, Mr. Hollywood. That's exactly what they said to me.
So you gave him the tapes?
The tapes is assuming that you're talking about something that's plural.
I ain't assuming anything. I'm starting to assume you're lying to me. Did you give him the tapes?
Okay, and when you say the tapes, I have a package of tapes here, and I gave him some tapes. I gave him the tapes
No,
for
you
the
did not,
trailer.
Your Honor.
Let me be
I
clear
have
on
a statement to the court.
Yeah.
I went to the UPS store and shipped all the tapes to my home.
Yep.
I still have the unopened date stamped UPS package that I sent out on May 4th. Previously, I had the tapes located deep inside my luggage. I then sent the tapes home.
Yes. Man, on the day.
Are you lying to me now,
No,
or
I'm
were
not,
you
Your Honor.
lying to me here?
There are 2 tapes that are not part of this package, which were in the camera. Do you understand?
Yana, I have no tapes, Yana. I have no tapes. I have
That's
no product.
okay,
and I had
Your
the
evidence is very clear.
Right.
You told this court that you took the tapes with you because you thought you were dealing with a terrorist. All right. And now you come into court and tell me you gave him the tapes. You know what? I've watched enough movies in my day. If you think that you're involved in an undercover deal and the guy
That's
is
not an
a
undercover
terrorist
deal,
on
Your
the
Honor.
terrorist watch list
Right.
and you don't want those tapes in his hand, you're going to send those tapes out. You're not going to give him a copy of the tapes that you just sent to yourself.
Your Honor, let me
It's
just be
a-
very clear.
Your Honor, may
We're
I-
talking
may I
about-
interrupt
Can I
you?
just be very
No.
clear?
I'm going to ask the questions now. The two of you talk too much. Now, did you pay him?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I couldn't. Because he wanted more money. I tried to pay him, Yana.
Wouldn't take the money?
He would not take the money.
Did he offer you money? Yes or no?
No, he didn't, Your Honor.
Okay. The tapes that are in that envelope that you went deep into your suitcase to send out when you were frantic
He went
and
through the
paranoid that he's on the terrorist watch list that you sent to yourself. Would you like to give them to him?
I have no interest in the tapes, Your Honor.
Would you like to give them to him?
Sure.
See, one-word answers are good for you. Okay? Now, how much you think you owe him?
$1,000 for his service
For how many days?
for 10 days.
9 days, Your Honor. And I'm just being honest.
He offered you 10.
But
Take it. Are you on a terrorist watch list?
No, I'm not, ma'am.
Okay. How'd you get here? Any problem?
No, not at all.
They didn't stop you?
I flew out last week and I'm flying out this Friday for my birthday.
Good for you.
All right,
Happy
can we just
birthday.
ask
Don't
him-
say a word. Now, the issue for the court is as follows. The issue is whether or not the defendant should pay for services rendered for the plaintiff's work as a videographer on your trailer or whatever else it is, and for his lawyer's fees to get off the terrorist watch list. The issue for you is whether or not he should reimburse you for travel expenses and production tapes.
Yes.
Now, it should be either or, because if you get the production tapes, then you're not entitled to travel expenses because that was part of the deal.
Right.
Travel
but
expenses. The defendant offers up an email where he basically agrees a 5-day project at $1,000, and the plaintiff says $200 a day. It's right here, as the going rate. Give me that tape.
It's a box of tapes.
Put it over there on that podium. Now, the plaintiff had no right to keep those tapes. The defendant should have paid him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been in court in front of me. You could have given him $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever. The more interesting issue here is the lawyer's fees for the terrorist watch list. I find that fascinating.
as well as me.
I've been stopped many times, by the way. Am I on a terrorist watch list? No, I'm not on a terrorist watch list. And anybody traveling with me is not on it either. You have done nothing but give me an email of questions from the watch list nominations and screening process. Call the airlines. You haven't proven to me you're on any list. Do not say another word.
No problem.
Do not say another word. You should have given him the tapes. You owe him $1,800 for 9 days of work, and the two of you grow up and stop fighting like little boys. So what?
I think I will never work with this gentleman again. This has become a complete nightmare for me.